Kunal, on the topic of trust, what is the key to building consumer trust for fintechs in India? Let's say in investment planning space, but in general, like, how do you build trust?
I wish there was an easy answer to that. But I can tell you one thing that uh, consumers are less likely to trust something that is new unless it's done by people that they really, really know well, right? Would CRED have managed to get, let's say, the first 100,000 customers without Kunal Shah not being known on social media and trusted by some people to say, it's okay, let's do a 1 lakh rupees transaction on this platform. Kunal Shah is a known guy, right? Like, so the investment that I made on my social media since last 10 years is the currency that I could cash by launching a new company. Now, the advantage of this is I can launch a new company and still get 1 million customers very quickly because the trust is something that is sort of fungible and kind of goes to more, right? And there are interesting ways to think about that. And I think building reputation is like depositing 1 rupee every day in an account. You can't deposit more. You can only do 1 rupee a day, but you can withdraw the entire account in 1 day by doing one stupid action, right? So the thing is, creating trust requires you to be in the company of trust. Who's investing with you? Who are your early customers? Do they vouch for it, right? Do they give their word to the new customers? Like, hey, ye cred kya hai? Like, yaar, I know Kunal is a very guy. I trust him. I like his content. Like, like making videos of your point of views and being very clear and consistent about it also creates trust. So according to me, trust has a combination of do you have integrity? Like, do you demonstrate integrity all the time? For example, let's say if I was low integrity founder, would Sequoia ever invest again in the same founder, right? So these are markers of integrity, markers of consistency, markers of benevolence. Like, what are you doing for the community, right? What if like I was like roaming around with this fancy car and instead of doing Indian investment and paying it forward? You need to think about reputation in a long time frame. And Shailendra, we've discussed this multiple times.
Yeah.
All bad behavior is rooted in being short-term mindset, right?
Yeah,
all
totally.
behavior will always have a long-term mindset, and reputation and trust is about being long-term, right? Being slow about it, because the slow ones is very hard to disrupt, right? Reputation is like an insurance that allows you to make so many mistakes, which companies with no reputation will instantly disappear.
Yeah, in specifically answering that question, I do think there's two very interesting ways to build trust in the world of tech today. One is that I think, and this is especially applicable in the US, but also applicable in India. There's all this, when you open any account and you sign 20, 30 pages of fine print, and you don't know what hidden charges there are and, what will happen when. I think one thing for fintech founders is, tech platforms inherently allow for much greater transparency, and creating a product with high transparency immediately enhances trust. And taking away all these hidden charges and so on and so forth, which on credit cards in the US were notorious for these things, right? All kinds of fees and charges that you didn't know, and they would come and hit you. And same for other kinds of financial services products. In fact, US has seen so much consumer litigation on this topic, where over the years, US banks and so on have been forced to disclose more. But I think this is still a prevalent problem, and even with incumbent financial services businesses in India. I think second thing is, content marketing is becoming very interesting. So, educating users about financial products, the masses of India, there's probably a massive opportunity in, call it, mainstream financial products, going from, whatever, 30, 40 million credit cards to 500 million cards. When for that to happen, people will need to get educated a lot more about the benefits of using, not just this, but savings products or investment products or insurance products. So I think transparency and education are two things that especially tech startups are uniquely positioned to do quite well.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm